Hello, Teaquilters. Today is Wednesday, October 30th, 2024, and we're here with live chat. Might do a little sewing, I'm not quite sure yet. I personally just came here to chat today, so we'll see what happens as we go along. Let's see. Search. Bring you all up on my phone so I can read the comments. Hey Ray, welcome, welcome. So I am live on Wednesday, 7 p.m. to 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, and then also live on Saturdays, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, where I mostly do sewing chats as well as large hauls there. I can't get all of my messages to show. Hold on, the chats. Let me try again. All right, we got Mona Resendez here. Hello, hello. Deborah Sims Brown, Carissa Renninger. This phone has no power. I need to charge it, and this phone needs to be moved up so I can see it. All right, Carissa Renninger is here. She says, your phone charged this time. It's not the phone, it's normally the iPad that causes the issue. I go live on my iPad. That's all I use it for the most part. Every once in a while I read on it if I'm going somewhere, going to be out, or I play a couple of, like Sudoku type games, spades, bid whist, that type of thing. I don't use my iPad all the time. Hi Tracy Middlebrook, welcome, welcome. She says good evening, that she's pressed that thumbs up, so she's reminding you all to press it. So thank you, Tracy. Renee Tanner's here. Kevin the Quilter. Did you get your shirt, Tracy? Just thinking about that. Hey, Kevin. Welcome, welcome. Michelle the Quilter is here. June Hansen. Francis Jackson. Remo Diaz is saying thumbs up to show your love and support for the most honest educator. Thank you, ma'am. Elaine Doucette's here. Dee Branson, Jamali J. Finna call you Jamali J. Judy Hebert. Sue GSD says 238 days until retreat 2025. In the deep woods. May not respond, but we'll be watching. She's saying hello to everybody. So thank you, Sue, for our countdown. Dorothy Battle is here. Kim R. Deborah Holloway. Miss Vivian says hello. She has no internet. OMG. Oh, so she does have it. So she's wearing her shirt to QuiltCon. I love your ink pens too. Thank you. I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to QuiltCon or not. I didn't know. I guess I need to look up information, and that's what I haven't had time to do, because I don't know what hotel is hosting, where you stay, to see if they've got rooms still available or anything like that. I haven't done any homework, but I want to go to QuiltCon. And the only reason, well, I mean, it's quilts there, so that's reason number one, but I have never been to Arizona, so that's why I'm thinking that would be a good thing to do. Just trying to mark off some of my 50 states. Janice Miller is here. Her dad turned 92. That's Remo. Was admitted in the hospital today. Oh my goodness. Hopefully everything's well. I know he's been going in and out a little bit more recently, so prayers for him. Or are you making the boxy bag tonight? Nope. Just show and tell. Anita's, I don't have anything cut here to do it with. So we'll be talking about that. Anita Scott saying hello and that her rent is paid. Thank you, Anita. And Holly Duvall's here. Vanessa Brown. A lot of people are sending their prayers to Remo. So thank you all so much. Quilts by Carmel is here. Hey, Joe. Welcome. Joe Carmel. I don't call her Joe, but Joe Carmel. Nikki B is here. And Quilt Gal just came in, said her thumbs up is done. Just listening. So thank you, thank you. Okay, so Saturday. What have I been doing since Saturday? Working on this t-shirt quilt back there. Y'all know it's too big for me to show, but I had sewed the rows, like the block rows. I had 4 of those. I had sewed those on the live chat, so I went and pressed those. And I have all of that put together. So what I did after that is I got my outer border pieces cut. They need to be connected, okay? So I have all the sashings and things like that. And the customer then wanted me to go back and put more dollar bill tags. So I ended up cutting, I think, like 4 more. So I have a total of 8 of those. And I just put them on the outer sides and let the insides be blank. So that's kind of what I did with that. Because she's not really paying for a custom quilt, you know. So it's like it's not the best layout location, but it's what the customer is paying for. Because that's more cuts I got to make if I'm doing anything different. I did take one of the smaller ones and put it in the dead center of the quilt top. So that's what I've been working on. I see more people are coming in. Got Paula S. She's saying hello to everybody in Quilters community. Tuning in from Southern Maryland. Feels like a summer evening. Darcy is here. Hi, Darcy. Welcome, welcome. Make sure you give Tia a thumbs up, she says. And also, if you don't know, I do have a Facebook page called Teaquilts LLC. Make sure that you answer those 4 questions so that you can gain admission to the group over there as well. Minnie Doula's here. Sheila Grimes. Sheila Willis. Sheila Grimes, I don't know if I've seen your name before, so welcome to the live chat, just in case. Appreciate you commenting. Sheila Willis is here. And I think that's it. That's the update for now. So I'll show you as much of that quilt as I can. You know, I have a very small space here I'm working with. My board's already tilted. It's leaning on my thread spool. But anyway, I'll just start with this. I did go buy me the sewing machine skeleton. And it came with the battery already in it. And it has a little... It has a little button on the tag. Once you take this off, that you press the button if you wanted to just do it, or it can be, I think sometimes if you just walk past it, it goes, but I'm not sure.
Be careful.
I have to read it. Saying, be careful, the sewing machine will leave you in stitches. So we're going to cut her little noisy stuff off. I wanted this because I just wanted this to go on my shelf where I have my pin cushions. You know, I saw this in Iowa when Kevin and I went to one of the quilt shops. It was in the front. When we walked past, it came on. And I thought they had made it themselves because, you know, I haven't been doing a whole lot of shopping in store since COVID. So I didn't even look for it. And then when I went to do that studio tour that I uploaded last month, or was it this month, earlier this month, I think it was taped the end of September. I saw it at her place and she told me where she got it from. So she got this at Joann's. And so, of course, they were having a sale. Right now, I don't remember what I paid for it, but I know it was on sale and it wasn't that much. And I thought, anything sewing related like this is just great. So, because y'all know I don't decorate, right? It's going to be out all year. Just like hers was out all year. See who else has come in. Deborah Holloway says that is so cute. To some people, I do realize that some people don't celebrate Halloween. I don't get all wrapped up into people's not celebrating or celebrating a holiday or celebrating a particular day. Every day that you're on this earth is a blessing to be here. And I'm celebrating that day. And if it comes with a little bit of Halloween, if it comes with a little bit of Christmas, if it comes with whatever else, birthdays, I'm okay with that. I don't get wrapped up into that. It's not to say that I don't know the true meaning of Christmas. I'm not into evil spirits and beliefs. So doesn't have anything to do with that. I just think it's a cute decoration item. That's all I'm doing. Okay. So we all have our own opinions. So I'm not trying to disrespect those that do not participate in that particular holiday. And also, that's tomorrow. Halloween is tomorrow. So my sister, I used to do Halloween when my daughter was small. I did it for years. My sister now does it. And she does it a little bit different, where she's outside barbecuing hot dogs. She's got all the condiments for the hot dogs. And then she might have bags of chips and stuff. So people actually, and when you get off work now, it's almost dark by the time you get home, get your kids ready and start to go out trick-or-treating. It's already dark. So people drive to my sister's house from all over to go, because she's feeding the kids dinner. They don't have to worry about dinner for the kids. And then they can put exactly what they want on their hot dog. So my sister has been doing that for a few years. Hi, Brenda Perkins. Welcome. And thank you for hitting the thumbs up for me. Deborah SB says, I like the sewing machine. Yes, I do too. Dorothy says, I have one large pumpkin outside that makes noise when people come to the door. Now, that's good. That's better than a dog, isn't it? Paula says, I love giving out candy. The kids seem to enjoy themselves trick-or-treating, and that's as far as I go. Porch light on until it's over. Yeah, and I used to give out lots of candy, and in my area now, like with my sister, people are not necessarily her neighbors trick-or-treating. It's like everybody that knows she does the hot dog thing is coming from all over. I don't give out candy anymore because now they do a lot of trunk-or-treat here in my area. So a lot of the churches have it. I enjoy seeing the kids' costumes, but I do not enjoy going out in my car to go park on a parking lot so that I can give out candy. If you want to come to my door and get it, you can get it. And I do understand the safety nowadays with not going door to door. So I'm okay with that too. So I just don't buy it anymore, because otherwise then I'm left trying to figure out what to do with it. And then I start eating it myself, because I buy what I like, right? So yeah. Brenda says, it's cute. One of our quilters brought one to Sew Day. That's cute. And Quilt Gal says she loves it too. No trick-or-treaters in my area, from Deborah. Yep. I just been having that. I bought I used to make candy treat bags and everything. And I had a special gift for a special bag. It was like it had other stuff in it. Other than the candy that I gave out for the 13th knocker. And then it was like the next year I didn't even get 13. And then the next year after that, I didn't even get anybody, because people are just not stopping like they used to. So I've stopped doing it. I see a lot of kids in my neighborhood walking home from school, but their parents must take them somewhere else, because I don't see them in the neighborhood trick-or-treating. So, T saying she's not hearing, then I think it's going to be your end because everybody else can hear. I have a mic on as well. Claudette Hall is here. Carissa says, I had to shut my heat off and put her AC back on. It was 80s outside. I was dying. That's funny. I have not cut on any heat. I don't think. You know, I got my husband here too. It might be some heat. Cause his man cave's in the basement, so he's colder there. He's always wrapped up in I guess it's fleece, polar fleece house coat. And when he come through and I look at him, I just start high flashing sometimes just looking at him. Okay. Too much. Hey, Sharon Lewis. She says hi to everybody and her rent's paid. And I haven't posted yet. I was going to post on Facebook and I haven't yet, but I'll just announce it here, is that Kevin got all of those stitches out and brought me your quilt Sunday afternoon. So I do have it. It's just a matter of me trying to get, I need to finish quilting this, make a couple of quilt backs, and what else did I need to do? Oh, so that when I set up quilting, because I got to clean off the long arm, so I've been using it to cut and things like that. So, but yeah, so we are ready to start quilting. Maybe next week, maybe, if I can get everything cleaned up, because I still got like die cutting stuff over there. I guess I'm going to have to stop die cutting and put it up. I'm just going to have to recount it when I start back up. Let's see. What else? Peggy O'Connor is here. Happy Halloween Eve. She says, I'm sewing along with you tonight. Awesome. And let's see. Yeah, that's thinking about that. I got about 6, 7. I picked up 7 quilts at Scrap Club that needs to be quilted. So I guess it's time to start quilting, guys. Liz Wilson is here. Hi, Liz. Zandra Odom is here. Melinda C. She says, wow, thank you, Major. Yeah, I was surprised that he got it out that quick. Kevin, I was taking out from the, I guess this is a lesson too, I guess, because I pick out from the top of the quilt or the back, and Kevin went in between the layers. I'm so scared to go between the layers, but Kevin says that it takes the stitches out faster. So that was pretty cool. And she says, thanks to Kevin. Darcy says, when I'm starting to get tired doing trick-or-treating, I tell one of the last kids, come back in half an hour and I will give you the rest to you. Then I just give the rest to them. Yeah, but that's good, but you don't hear what me not getting him. I just never know when the last one is, okay? So I just stopped buying candy. I don't cut my light on. I don't put any decorations out. I used to have like, well, I do have, I ain't no used to have. I have like a Halloween wreath I used to put out. I don't put anything out because I don't want to confuse people. Like all month she had a decoration out or something out, and then when it's trick-or-treat day, if somebody was walking the street, I don't want them to think, okay, now her light's out, like, where's the candy, you know? So I just don't put it out at all. Kevin ain't, he a pain sometimes, but I'm going to be Miss T's supervisor, breathing down her neck. She gonna get quilting, laughing out loud. Yeah, I don't have any aversion to quilting. It's just that I have to decide like what's next. So now that we got the stitches out, that's the priority, is to get her quilt done when it comes back around. So let's see. I had, see, this has been since February, this request for a Mickey Mouse toiletry bag, okay? So what I did was, because of course I told y'all I just make them. I don't know what size they are. She sent me a picture of one of the old ones I had done. I don't know what size that bag is. So I already had this cut. So I made one really quick with this without a lining, with this cork that I told you all I had. I had cut like a width piece off when I did the other bag that I showed you all in the hoop last week. And so I just made one really quick without a lining because it's cork. It's okay, it won't fray. And so I just wanted to see what size it would come out. Yes, it's a cute size, but I knew this wasn't going to be big enough to hold a whole lot of toiletries. So I ended up, let me show you the difference in the two. Just to hold them up. So yeah, I cut about 3 inches each way more. And then I got this size, and then I also lined with foam. So foam is taking up some of the place too. I used soft and stable foam because I had it out already. And this one here, I didn't even put a tag, a Teaquilts tag on here. I didn't even have anything. It was my test boxy pouch. And then on this one, I was trying to figure out where center was going to be, but I kind of missed it a little bit because it's been a long time since I made it. This is for my cousin's wife. And then on the inside, I have paper in here to keep it because when I ship it, I don't want it to be smashed all the way down. But then I have the Mickey Mouse dot print on the inside in black for lining. And then I used iron-on vinyl by Pellon. And I use that so that it can be wiped out because she's using it as a toiletry bag. So she might have makeup or toothpaste, something like that, so she can wipe out. Now the pocket, I did not line with that. So if she spills something on that, she'll just have to deal with it. But I put a pocket in there, used the red with the white dot Mickey Mouse. I call them Mickey Mouse print because, you know, Minnie Mouse wears the polka dot skirt. So this is the polka dot that looks like the mini skirt. It's not your regular polka dot. It's like a cattywampus circle. It's not perfect. But yeah, so I've got all of that in here ready to go. I'm just going to mail it to her because, you know, she asked me for this in February. I said I have to check and see if I got Mickey Mouse fabric. So here we go. I just had to find the fabric. You know, it takes time. My fabric situation, I know where it's located, but I have to go through the whole thing, especially if you're asking me for a particular type of fabric, especially novelties. I got one of those children toy boxes from IKEA, and it's filled with novelty prints, and then it even overflows into my landscape. That's how many novelty prints I have. So I just had to go find it. And this was the first one I found. And I'm like, it's good to go. Long as it wasn't a white background. Because if it's a toiletry bag, I wouldn't want to make it on a white background. So that's kind of what I've been working with. And let me see who else has come in before I'll show you this quilt top. Delia Castro Shorts here. Yeah, she says if in our area, if the outside light is not on, no candy here. That's the same thing here, but it kind of confuses kids if they walking past your house. Because like I said, I got a lot of school age kids that come past the side street or on my street. And if they see Halloween decorations, something up on the door, they might think that's a house they can come back to. So that's why I don't, so I'm not wasting their time if they decide they're trick-or-treating again, which I highly doubt they are because I just don't see it in my area anymore. Lady Crafts is here. T says she stopped giving out candy. I would buy and no one would show. Yep, same thing I had. Bonita Nance is here. Hey, Bonita, welcome, welcome. She's eating dinner and listening today. Janet McCarroll's here. And Liz says, on my block, we have vacant lot where a house was. So neighbors contribute candy and goodies, grill hot dogs, and juice boxes. A Halloween party for the neighborhood. Yeah, now that's nice, too. That's kind of what my sister does. Brenda was saying good evening to everybody. I thought she was already in here. So she's excited for 2025 Great Tea Retreat. All right. And that retreat, last payment is due tomorrow. We'll have to, I guess I'm gonna have to do that. I got a whole lot of desk type work I need to do. But yeah, but I'll figure all that out. But last retreat payments tomorrow. I'm trying to get everything done, all the paperwork and stuff done for retreat way before Christmas, and the payment for retreat paid way before Christmas, so that I can then go to my Gil's quilt show that we're having next year. So I'm trying to get as much retreat stuff done. Liz says, very nice pouch. Thank you. Like your pouches. Thank you, June. Diane Mayberry is here. Hey, Diane. Welcome, welcome. Nikki says, I don't get tricks or treaters at my house. Did I miss so busy email? No, ma'am, honey. Just ain't been sitting at the computer yet. It's been a lot. I've been working on this quilt that you're not going to be able to see the whole thing. So, but it's done. Just to show you it's done. This is what I had to go back and make, was more of these. And when I had to go back and redo those, I wasn't going to recalculate a whole lot of the stuff. So I just kind of put them on each end of the quilt. So the center is basically nothing there except for this one in the middle. I put a small one in the middle. So everything else lines up on the outside. So I only had to really put one long piece in the middle, except this one I put a little extra piece in the middle. But I just now got to put this same blue, same size on the outside of the quilt. But I got the pieces cut because, you know, I was running out of fabric because, you know, I never know how much I'm going to need because I don't know what I'm doing when I start. I just start working with them. And, you know, the one thing about t-shirt quilts is so many colors in them that if you run out of one fabric, you can always add another one. So I said if I didn't have enough for the border, I could just you know, use a different fabric. But I had enough for the border. I just couldn't cut it lengthwise like I normally do. So I just cut it widthwise. And so now I've got to just sew all these strips together. So yeah, I should have cut the whole piece lengthwise when I first started. Then I wouldn't have this problem. But it'll do. This is gonna be one of the few times I put a border on that's not cut from the lengthwise of the fabric. And then I need to find fabric for a quilt back and make that too. I need to make the quilt back for the giveaway quilt too. So those, like Sharon's quilt, giveaway quilt, this quilt, and then I'll start working on my other quilts. I got 3 quilts before I can even start doing regular machine long arm quilting for other folk. So I got 3 things I got to do. I want to get this quilt in the mail in November, not December. So I'm trying to get that done soon too. So, and the same thing with Sharon's because hers is in the mail, got to be in the mail. I don't like getting too close to Christmas mailings. And then I mail everything UPS, so it's a lot better for me than the post office right now. Thanks, Diane. Says looks good, T. That's a beautiful blue. Yeah, they're even though the t-shirts have different colors from different events, their main t-shirt color is white with blue or blue with white. You know, they reverse it. So blue and white is the team color. So that's why I chose the blue fabric for the quilt to bring it back into their team colors. T, have you heard of dryer sheets used as foundation for sewing scraps? Yes, I have. People recycle that for, and you know, like recycling, using it. I just don't use foundations a lot unless it's blocks that are on a diagonal, and then you all know how I sew that so that I'm not pulling out all that paper. So I'm just not one of those people that foundation piece for the most part. And I'm thinking you're talking about like strings and crumb quilts. The only time I use a foundation is when I'm doing a diagonal quilt, especially if I need something to match. And that's just so that I know, because on a diagonal it's hard to keep track of how much material you need as you're flipping. So that's the only time that I do that. And then I'm only sewing one seam so that I don't have all that paper to rip out. I'm a little bit different. So I know people are concerned about like straighter grain, but you're dealing with scraps, strings, and crumbs. The paper ain't gonna save you from straighter grain. necessarily, especially if you pull it out before you connect it to the next block, which then makes the whole pulling the paper out process a little bit harder to do. So what I do is I just I piece my strings like this. Just pick one off of here. I don't want the whole thing because I got so many pieces on here. This one's more boring, but I guess it'll work. But like, I don't use foundations on the back. I just sew my strips together. I don't worry about if they're straight or not, because it adds a little bit more interest if it's not. I don't worry about that. And once I'm done, before I cut it into the actual size block that I want, I'll go and starch it with any type of starch you want to use. I'm not advocating for any particular one. That helps everything to lay nice and flat. And then when I cut, I go ahead and square it up to whatever size I need, or if I'm cutting some other shape, I cut those shapes out. And then I make sure that I'm just not handling it by the edges. I try to make sure when I do touch it that I go in on the block to pick it up and not picking it up right here. But I don't tend to have the issues that people say they have, or the quilt police will tell you that you have. I've just learned how to do that without using foundations all the time. In the late 70s, people were not giving safe things out. But my son's birthday was near Christmas, and he liked this holiday, and we had his early birthday and Halloween for 3 years. He loved it. So that's cool. And I do remember that we had people, when I was growing up, we had people that were doing candy apples, popcorn, balls. We had some stuff. It was like, we didn't go door to door trick or treating. We went to the house that had the good stuff first, and then we went back and did regular door to door trick or treat. Because if you waited to get to the good houses, you weren't gonna get it, okay? But I do remember when people, they even like in Snickers, they were injecting stuff into like the candy, so you had to look to see if it had holes in the packaging and all of that. It got to be a bit too much. So I grew up during that time. Let me put that over there. I don't know what I did with my fabric bag, that I had some other fabric left. So I don't know what my fabric bag is for the badges. So I haven't done a thing with that yet. So let's see, what else did I have in here? I just had a few things I wanted to, I guess I could show, Y'all know I had bought the little cute oscillating fan. It's supposed to be used in my long arm area, but I keep taking it outside the house, and then I keep bringing it in here, and then whichever room I'm in, it's never in the room that I need it in, okay? So I went and bought a camp fan. And this one truly is USB. It's battery operated, where you don't have to have it plugged in. Like my other one, you have to have it plugged in. Like this will come on here. And it has 4 levels of fan speed. So I bought me another fan. That's a camp fan. And I didn't even know. I knew that it had this where you can hang the fan, like if you're in a car, because that's what most people do, car or tent. You can hang it up there, and then you can direct this to wherever you need it to go. It doesn't go left and right like my oscillating fan, but it will tilt up and down. And then I was really surprised because, I didn't read. I was just looking for a battery-powered light so I could take it to scrap club, stuff like that, use it in here. It has a little remote. Ain't that something? I just put it back in there because, that ain't going to last long trying to keep up with that remote. But I thought it was really cool. So get you a camp light if you want a portable light. Or we meet in a place where when I first get there, I can feel like it's just okay. And then the more bodies get in there, I start getting hot. So I always try to take a fan. And we don't have access to a lot of power. So this is going to be really cool for that. And I need to see how much power do I have. It's only at 50%, which is what it came with. I've used it a couple of times. And so I used it a couple of times, and it's still sitting at 50%. So that's good. So yeah, got that. And then Harbor Freight in my area had parking lot sale. I don't know if you all have Harbor Freights in your area. And years ago, I bought this. Ugh, it's heavy. My elbow is still acting crazy. And I have all of my, well, not all of my, that's the problem. I have some of my bag making hardware in here. And some of these, I have the same item in 2 or 3 sections. And they had these on sale for $4.99, so $5. They're normally $10. But I went there to go buy another one so I could have 2 of them. But I decided not to do that. For another $5, I could get this bigger one. See how thick this one is compared to this? Ugh. So yeah, I think this will work better. So I only have 1 compartment, and you can make the compartments bigger or smaller. But this one is different in that it has pull-out trays. Is these pull-out trays? It's got dividers still, but I don't see dividers in here. So I don't know how the dividers work because I don't see any dividers in here. But it's got bigger sections, and I'm hoping that with them being deeper sections that I can get more items in here. And just have 1 of each, so I'm not worried about how many of something I got. I don't have to look in a second space, and hoping that everything will fit in 1. So I did go buy that. So that's all I bought, I think. And I had bought the Harbor Freight thing like last week. I think it was the parking lot sale. Last Sunday, not the one that just passed. Last Sunday was the last day of the sale. And who wait till the last day, 1 hour before closing time, to go get what they need? I do. I didn't like it either. I didn't even want to go out the house at that time. Diane says she starches too. Needles and razor blades were the most popular, Diane was saying, but they was injecting stuff too. Damali says, great buy, a battery operated fan with a remote. Yes, so I don't even have to move. And yeah, this would be great for taking to, and it's lighter than my other fan as well, and it still has a hand thing where you can grab into in the back here, hand part. But you know, yeah, but at least I can take it, don't have to worry about a cord, because every time I go to the other place, I have 1 part. I normally have like a Morphe power station that I take, and then I get there and I don't have the cord to plug it into the Morphe. So then it's like, this is too much. So I'm just glad I got something now that's completely battery operated. And it's rechargeable, because I've had D-battery replaceable fans, and them suckers will eat through some D batteries fast as all get out. So I was always buying batteries, so I stopped using them. I had 2 of them when I was line dancing. I would hold it. I had a big fan I would be holding while I'm line dancing, hugged up in my arm like this. And it was so funny because other people started buying them too, because we normally use a little hand fans, but you got to keep fanning. And it gets so hot sometimes that the hand fan just ain't doing it. So I bought me some fans that take batteries, but then they just go through the batteries I'd say about 2 parties or something like that, or 2 events, and then I had to buy more batteries. So they were getting to be expensive. So I'm looking forward to this rechargeable battery. Hey, Patsy Johnson, welcome, welcome. I have a small one of those. I can't see what's under the heart. Sorted buttons in it. I don't know what. Oh, she's talking about the Harbor Freight thing, and then she sorted buttons into it. So that's cool too. So that's something that maybe I can use with the smaller one that I got, if I can get everything in the other one, because I've got my bag making supplies scattered, like my hardware. It's for my hardware. I've got my hardware scattered between so many different things, and I'm trying, and everything that I'm using is full. And I still got containers outside of that. And so at least if I can get all of my stuff contained into the one thing I got over there, or this big one, like in two things, not two big things, two good size things, and then having 2 and 3 smaller containers too. I'm trying to get everything into one. So that's the problem I'm having. Maddie's here, Maddie Barnum. Welcome, welcome. She says, I am late. T, I got my package. It's just lovely. Thank you. Yeah. For some reason, I've mailed to Maddie before, and for some reason, it took the first digit off of her mailing address. Of course, I didn't know it because I don't know her address like I'm driving to it. I know my address. That's the address I know. So I dropped it off at the post office, and it came back. So we had to remail her package. So thank you. Francis says, where did you get your fan from? Amazon? Let me see. I don't know. It's going to kick me out. Y'all know it, right? Let's see. Amazon. I have to go to my orders so I can get you a link. And Amazon is like slow pulling up. I guess a lot of people spending money over there. I guess this is like prime buying time for people that work during the daytime. It still hasn't done anything. I'm trying to go to my orders. It won't let me get into my orders. The regular Amazon is coming up. About time. Your orders. It was delivered. Okay. I don't want that. Wait a minute. I do want that. It just put me down too far. I need to go to the actual item and get a share link. And go back over here and paste it for you, Francis. There you go, Francis. Diane says, looks handy. I need to look for something like that for my dog collar making and bags. Oh, when she makes dog collars and bags, she needs something to sort her stuff in. Yeah, because it's so amazing. Like if you need D-rings, you need O-rings, you need key rings, you need a swivel hook, you need the connecting things for when you're doing like backpacks or fanny pack, what do you call them? A fanny belt, I guess. Fanny pouch, where you have the connector ends. And it's like, and then they got stuff in so many different sizes based on if you use 1-inch webbing or 3/4-inch webbing or 1.5-inch webbing. And it's like, it just gets ridiculous after a while. I finally bought something to put most of my zippers in over here. And I'm trying to use up all of my store-bought zippers. And then what happens? I come across a pattern that really likes store-bought zippers, and I'm trying to get rid of them. So it's like, OM to the G. I can't keep everything all the time. So I'm trying to use up those zippers so that I can get them out of my stash, because it's too much. I would prefer to buy zippers by the roll. And I've been buying all size 5 zipper by the rolls, and maybe I need to start buying size 3 zipper by the rolls. But I want to get rid of all the size 3 zippers first before I, like if I run out of a particular color, then I can go order that color in a size 3 and then maybe order it also in a size 5 if they have it available. So that's what I'm kind of doing. But it takes a lot of storage for all this stuff. That's why I'm like, I can't do another hobby, Too much. You're welcome, Francis. And Diane talking about, don't you hate it when it takes that long to come up? Yep, I do. So we only got like 15 minutes. I really don't have anything else. If anybody got any questions about quilting, you can ask them. I may go ahead and just sew these things straight because I didn't have a whole lot of fabric left. So I might just sew these straight across. This is like what I had left from the sashing, an extra sashing piece. So I'm going to use that to start one of my rows so all the seams aren't in the same location. Start with a small seam. So I think I'm just going to trim the edges on some of these. At least square them up. We'll start with that to get the selvages off, and then make sure everything is square, because I'm just going to sew them end to end instead of diagonally sewing them together, because I just don't have a lot of fabric to work with now. I don't even think I have enough left to even bind it with, so may have to find something else anyway. So got I don't like well, it's sometimes it happens that way, but you have bind your selvage on the two different ends. They're different size. You got like, this is the thinner side and then the other side is thicker. So I'm having to trim them separately instead of folded, because otherwise I'll be wasting more fabric that I need to save. So that's why I'm opening them up and not just doing the two ends. But I did 2 at a time at least. I cut 6 for right now, and then I've got this extra piece. I may have to go back. I got about 13 inches left. I may have to cut another strip. So I just go ahead. Oops, there we go with the double, because I'm trying to save as much fabric as I can. That extra inch might come in handy somewhere. So at least I cooked dinner already today, so that's good. I have been cooking. That's what I've been doing, is I've been doing soups. Let's see. I made the beef stew last week, but almost all of that's gone. It's only like one more serving of that. I didn't get any of that into my freezer. And that's partly also because I shared it with Kevin too. My husband and I ate it and about 3 or 4 times, and then I also shared it with Kevin. And so that kind of knocked that one out, so I didn't have any more left. I didn't tell anybody I had made the other 2 soups this week. I made chicken and rice first. I like chicken and rice soup because I put some herbs in it that this just makes me feel better in the winter months when I'm not feeling good. And then the broth of that helps too. So I made chicken and rice and put some herbs in it that I like to put into it. Just because I think it makes me feel good. I think I like the smell of it when I heat it. And that makes me feel better. So I made chicken and rice, and then I also made baked potato soup. And it's the same as regular potato soup. It's just that it starts from a baked potato as compared to a boiled potato. I like the baked potato better because I feel like your nutrients are still in the potato over boiling your potato in water. But you could make it with you can make it with boiled potatoes if you want. That's just not how I make it. And then I put those same herbs in that too. So if I'm feeling really messed up one day or something, then I can use that as well. So I want to do chili, and I want to do chicken corn chowder as well. Haven't gotten those yet. But that's what I want to do next. I need to go to the store though, because I've ran out of chicken now. I did chicken and rice, and then I put, and I guess I didn't say that, is that in my potato soup, I put chicken and bacon in it. Bacon is what's normally in potato soup, but I did put chicken in there too, so that I don't have to worry about, like when I pull out a cube for me to eat, because I freeze them in cubes, and then I take that cube, put it in a bowl, and cook it in the microwave from frozen to about 3 to 4 minutes. I'm ready to eat. That's why I do the soups. I love making soups and freezing them because they're ready meals. And if I put meat in it, then I don't have to worry about a meat. I can either decide if I want a salad or nothing and go from there. So yeah. And Lady Crafts was saying, when I was talking about how many, I used to crochet. I still have some yarn. I used to cross stitch. I still probably have about 6 kits, counted cross stitch. I got probably all kinds of embroidery thread, but I do use it. It crosses over into Christmas too. And I do some hand embroidery as well with it. It's like, I can't do another thing. I do t-shirts, so that's a lot. It's too much. I have no room for another craft, okay? I look at stuff. I want to make me a macrame bracelet. And I'm hoping, because I have one and it's starting to wear. I've had it for years. And I got all kinds of beads and stuff in it. And I really, really love it. And I'm hoping that I can just go to the store and just buy. I want the macrame to be black, and then I'll put like colored beads in it. And I'm hoping that I can just go to the store and get just the thread I need. I want like a wax type thread. Paul is asking, are you still taking quilting orders? If you're looking for it by Christmas, I don't know if you'll get it by Christmas. If you're looking for something before Christmas and want it guaranteed, I would say somewhere else. But if you want it if after Christmas is good, that's good. It might be done by Christmas, but I'm not guaranteeing that. I do like 2 months out. That's my goal now. It used to be a month. Now I'm trying to do 2 months. And then Sharon's was the exception because we've been ripping on it for months. So, been ripping on it. For some reason, we just had an issue. I don't know if it was just a machine glitch or something. So I took out all the stuff that puckered. We had like 4 rows of completed stitching that needed to come out. 2 rows are still in it that are good. So I'm going to put it back on the frame. I saved her settings on my computer, so I know exactly what we were working with. And she was the exception. So we've been ripping, because Sharon did tell us told me, not us. She told me that I could send it to her and she would rip it, but I didn't think that was fair. She didn't sew it. So I wasn't going to allow that to happen. But we finally got it out. Like I said, I've just had one of those weird 2024s where nothing is going according to plan. However, I did get out and vote early, so I don't have to get in the lines next week, because 4 years ago, I didn't go early thinking, oh, it won't be so bad if everybody else is going early. I don't have to worry about it. Well, we were in line for a few hours outside before we even made it to an inside door. And it was a little chilly that day, so you never know what the first Wednesday of November will bring in your area. It was cold. So we were out standing in a line in a cold. Whew, so I didn't want to do that this year. So I even went back the next day. I went Monday with my husband And then I called my mom after we voted to see if she wanted to come, but she wasn't dressed. And so then I was like, okay. And she hadn't really fully finished looking at all her candidates and stuff. So she wanted to look at those. She wanted to look at those. So she needed another day at least. So I told her, okay. So then I went and got her the next day. Her and my brother, actually. I took both of them so that they could vote. So the next time I go vote, I'm just going to go get my mom, because her being handicapped, they brought it to the car. And then me, my husband, my mother, and my brother, we can all be sitting in the car voting, okay? It wasn't bad, though, going early. It was just a little tight where I was sitting on one of the inside lanes. So I at least got those done. I'm going to take them to my big press station. I'm going to cut my machine off. And I will press all of those seams. And then I got to cut them to... I cut my borders to the size of my quilt top. So I'm going to cut my borders to the size of my quilt top. And then I'm going to pin them on. I don't just take extra long piece and start sewing, because your quilt's going to grow that way. So that's what I do to keep my quilts from growing on the outside edges, being bigger than the quilt on the inside, or even smaller if somebody's pulling too tight. But I make sure that my quilt border measures, what I cut measures the size of my quilt. I'm trying to figure out, I might need to pull my fan back up. It's like all of a sudden I felt like some heat come over. Come over. We'll put it on medium. It's all about the face, the chest area, this part right here. What else? I gotta go back. Yolanda Riza came in. Hello. She says her rent is paid. Thank you. Kim says, those soups sounds fabulous. I got to clean out my freezer so I can do this too. Yeah, I love those super cubes, boy. I accidentally fell into those because I had been just putting them like into like the air compressed bags, you know, just wet soup. And then every once in a while it would run into the tray, those bags you use to, you know, to get out air and all of that. Even when I had it on that it was a liquid, it would still pull some of the liquid up. And I was using a lot more of that because I was trying to do like a serving for me and my husband. Now we can go in and he can choose what soup he's eating. I can choose what soup I'm eating. Maybe on this day I want soup and he don't, so he eats something else. And the soup is great to have. And I fell into those super cubes where you can get them by cup size. You can get a half cup, full cup, 2 cups. And I find the 1 cup works. For some reason, when it's frozen, I need to add just a little bit of water, and the water helps spread it out some more. So it's basically a little bit more soup than what you started with. So I like that too, because if you all know, freezing stuff kind of enhances the flavor. So even adding the little water, I don't even have to add any more seasoning to it. So, but I love those super cubes. Okay, Paula, then you can send whatever. That's fine. Pamela Ebel's here. She says she's going to need to watch the replay. This has just been more of a talking one today. So thank you for joining us. I appreciate that. Remo's reminding people that haven't hit the thumbs up button already, please go out and hit the thumbs up button for us. Sharon says she voted this evening. Yeah. And what was so funny is I had a friend, I didn't even realize they had Saturday voting, went to the library and voted on Saturday morning. I was like, what? I never heard it. I didn't even know anything about voting on no weekend. So I don't know what other days, like if Sunday is available, I don't know. But your deadline is about ticking away. So if you want to vote early, I highly recommend it, especially if you don't want to be in a line. So go do it. Carol Williams is here, says she's late and saying hello to everybody. Thank you for hitting the thumbs up button for me. And Claudette says, do you have a favorite Christmas quilt pattern? That's I'm just gonna probably, like, if you're talking about a quilt, I would probably say no. And that's only because you can take any quilt block, Evening Star, Churn Dash, Iowa Star, and you can make it into a Christmas, you know, cut it out with Christmas fabric's gonna make it a Christmas quilt. So you don't really need like a Christmas pattern unless you're looking for something pictorial. Then that's different. But I like making, say you do a 2 quilt block quilt, and then you have your basic quilt block, and then you have like a chain block. I was just talking about this with Betsy at Scrap Club. You have a block that kind of makes a chain, and then you alternate those 2 blocks, and you get this chaining effect in between your other block, and it makes them both come and be a continuous join. I like those type quilts a lot. And I've even done that with scrappy. It could even be scrappy opposite block if you want. But I just find just anything that you're wanting to do, even if it's a disappearing 9-patch, it doesn't have to be complicated. As long as you're using Christmas fabrics, it could definitely be a Christmas quilt. So D2M would be a good Christmas quilt. I made it last year and gave it away because it uses focus fabrics, 13 fat quarters. For that quilt, you can make it. So that's a great one for a Christmas quilt as well. It just depends on if you already have fabric, what you're trying to use. And if you've got some background or something that you're adding to it, then that makes a difference too. But there are so many things you can do with just Christmas fabrics to make a Christmas quilt. Let's see. Paula says she's old school. She's going to stand in line. I hope I won't regret it. And, you know, I'm normally that way too, but I have pre-voted twice when I was going out of town once before, and I did it this time because I did not enjoy 4 years ago. It's only on the presidential elections that the lines are long like that. And so that's the only time that I have decided to pre-vote, because I didn't the last 4 years ago, and we were out there way too long, and ain't nobody got time for that. You know, it went through the machines. That's all you can hope and pray, is that everything is on the up and up. And that's either side of the parties are going to have issues with the voting systems when it all comes down to it. So France has been voting absentee. I ordered those cubes after you recommended them. Very handy, yes. And the other thing is, if you need big ice cube for punch bowls, those are some big ice cubes. It'll keep that punch bowl moving, okay? So they're good for water too. Or like if you, knowing you're going to do punch, you can freeze some of the juice into them as well. So it just depends. You can do so much with them. So Sharon says, T, that's a good idea, freezing soup. I'll look for the super cubes. I don't know if let me see if I can find that one. Oh, it's 8:03. That's my brother saying good night. He letting me know, girl, you over talking now. Good night, Ray. Thank you. Let me see if I can find you. Did I close Amazon? Let's see. I've tried to go to my orders because, you know, if you just do a general search, I'm just going to put in cubes because it should pull those right up. Because if I put in something else, The last time I bought them was in 2021. I have 4 of them. They have 4 slots in them. They come, this one I think comes 2 to a pack. Let me see. Yeah, 2 to a thing. They are expensive, but I have been using them and haven't had any problems with them whatsoever. So I'm just going to copy that link and go back over here and paste it in for Sharon. And there you go, Sharon. It should be there now. Just that link is for the cubes. Judy says, way late. I have to catch replay as well. It's all right. Diane says, I paid the rent. If you haven't, again, please hit the thumbs up button for me. I'm also here live on Saturdays from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time for 2-hour live sew and chat. So I appreciate you all coming back. My brother done told y'all good night. He telling me, he lets me know it's after 8, girl. Claudette Hall is here saying thank you. You're welcome for answering her question. I have a big Santa panel that I am putting stars all around. That's going to be cute. You're welcome, Sharon. Betty Ward's here saying Rit is paid a little late. I will watch replay. So thank you, thank you. So I think that's it, guys. It's 8:05. It's not too bad. We're going to go ahead and get off of here. I'm going to go eat, probably watch a little television, and start trying to, I got to do some desk work before I even start cleaning up the computer stuff, because now it's the end of the month and I got to start getting ready to send out who owes what for quilt retreat. If I'm not mistaken, I think I still have 3 spots available. I had 4. I think 1 got filled. I thought maybe 2 were going to get filled because maybe the person was going to bring a friend. But at least I know 1 spot of the 4 is done, if I'm counting correct. We might only have, you think we only have 2? Because I have another friend that's coming from Atlanta. My friend from Atlanta is going to come. So, yeah. So, I might only have 2 spots available. So, we're going to go ahead and end here. You all stay blessed. Be safe, everybody. Quilt out. Have a good evening.